Hello today, hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be talking about how regular exercise can benefit academic success. So stay tuned as we delve into the answer to that question. To begin with, we want to be talking about the link between exercise and academic performance. And we want to tell you how you can incorporate developmentally appropriate exercise into your child's life. Third, we want to be talking about the value of free play and how that is often overlooked. Fourth, how can you begin to incorporate movement and exercise into the classroom? And then, of course, we're going to be looking at how this plays out in the real world with a real-life case study. Research is real clear that exercise is good for the mind as well as the body. It improves your ability to focus, improves your problem-solving ability. The increased blood flow activates more aspects of your brain. There is nothing really harmful for your brain about exercise. So getting your child involved in exercise on a regular basis is not only good for the body, it's good for the mind. And we know about this mind-body connection. You guys all sure have heard it and read it. So that's one of the huge benefits of getting your child involved in exercise. Research clearly indicates that exercise is good for the brain. Things like the release of, you ready for this? Brain-derived neurotrophic factors. That is one thing that happens, as well as increased blood flow and oxygenation. So you're getting that flow, that blood really going to the brain, and obviously oxygen is needed. And when your brain is functioning well, you can focus better, you can solve problems better, your memory improves, all those academic functions improve because you are stimulating the brain through physical movement and exercise. So do yourself, do your children a favor and start regular exercise today. So strategies for getting your kids involved, first and foremost, we have another video where we talk about the value of youth sports or athletics. So that's first and foremost. Get them involved in youth sports. Get them involved in many youth sports. Have them try all the different sports, right? So, you know, doing something in the fall, in the winter, in the spring, in the summer, that aspect would be really important. Getting involved in learning to swim and then biking and all these kind of childhood activities are wonderful. As they get older, some of those more childhood situations will begin to decline, but that's where maintaining their athletic programs and being involved in school or community sports really needs to be encouraged. As they get older, that will demand more time, right? You might, if they aren't really clicking with a particular sport, maybe that's where you try something different. But really find at least one thing that works, and preferably more, because the more sports you do, the different muscles you train and all kinds of things like that. So that would be the four, first and foremost. Now, got to talk about free play in this, because free play is another strategy of getting your child active, particularly when they're younger. What's begun to happen, going back a number of years, and there's a great book out there that kind of covers this, and that's The Anxiety Generation. And Jonathan Haidt's the author of that, but he's got a whole lot of articles and things out there. And his expertise isn't on free play per se, but he quotes researchers a lot. And the idea here is that when kids are young, they need to learn to take risks. They need to get involved in moving. They need to be outside or even inside on rainy days, right? But they need to be playing physically, not in front of a screen, not in front of the video games, playing video games. They need to be playing, creating games of their own, out biking and running around and climbing trees and out at the playground. And they need to do this free play, not directed and guided and monitored constantly by parents. And there's been that pendulum swung, right, way too far, where parents was too worried, hypersensitive about the concern over kids being kidnapped and attacked and all these things. Now, I'm not saying you don't have that as a concern, but that doesn't mean you don't allow free play. All right? Some of this risk taking is vitally important. And you can maybe be with them at the park, but you aren't like right there watching and guiding and stuff. You need to allow them to roam a little bit. There's lots of research on that. So that's another important way that they can get involved in movement and exercise, especially at younger ages. Now, in the classroom, one of the challenges for teachers, for educators, is you get kids involved in some activity, something that they're doing in the classroom, solving problems in math, they're practicing that, they're doing their writing, whatever, right? They're doing things in the classroom. And they are becoming more conscientious about trying to get them moving from one station to another, which is all well and good. And movement is very important to not be sitting long. This goes for all of you who are listening to this. This is not just kids, right? Like I have a little buzzer thing, little ding dong thing that goes off my laptop after 25 minutes to remind me to get up and move. Neuro research shows clearly that that is better. You become more productive learning to do that. But if you're like me, you get involved in work, you get involved in something, and your focus is on that, you keep going, and you lose track of time. All that's good stuff. And then all of a sudden you found that you've been sitting for a really long time. So getting up, 2-minute little stretching routines, doing them right in the chair even, standing up and stretching, go walking, taking a drink, all of those things can be done in the classroom as well. Teachers can set those little timers, those buzzers. All right, listen, you've been sitting too long, get up and move, stretch, we're gonna do this together. All those are little activities that can be done in the classroom. They take 1 or 2 minutes, interrupt the kind of stuck pattern that you're in, which is actually a good thing, and then get a little movement, and that all has positive benefits on the learning and academic performance. So for a real life example of how this can play out, let's take a look at Naperville High School in Illinois. Naperville High School implemented something that they called the 0 PE hour. So they had their students involved in intense physical activity before their first academic class. And guess what happened? Lo and behold, the test scores began to increase, right? From those students who were involved in that activity, because it wasn't everybody, but when those students who got involved in that 0 PE hour, their scores immediately went up. When they implemented this on the school-wide basis, their school started scoring in the top 10% of the ACT test nationwide, right? After they implemented this. So 0 PE hours, this intense physical activity to begin the day right before their academic classes, and the benefits were positive. From a personal experience, I can talk about the number of times that we tried to get our students outside, walking, moving, talking, moving around and talking, a walk and talk kind of thing where we're processing stuff. And it was beneficial on many fronts. When we did that, the relationships were building with their classmates and with us. They're getting out, the fresh air, the exercise, all helped their behavior, and it helped their academic performance as well. I sincerely hope that you take what you learned today in this video and you apply that. You apply it in your own life, you apply it in your child's life. It'll be one of the great gifts that you give them or give to yourself. I encourage you to subscribe to our channel so you can check out our other videos. You might be particularly interested in the video, how do I choose a homeschool curriculum? So check that video out today, and while you're there, maybe you check out one of the interviews I did in my podcast as well. And I will see you in the next video.